there, welcome back. If you're new here, I'm Coy, and I am an independent artist who is new to YouTube. And if you're not new here, did you miss me? Because I missed you. Today we are working in the sketchbook. I had previously on the other side of this page used some alcohol ink markers to draw some of the fish from my trip to the aquarium recently, and obviously because it's alcohol markers and this is not meant for that, it bled through. So I needed to be creative with how I covered it up, and I had the stationery that I haven't really been using, and so I thought, let me tape that in there. I was going to use those little tabs too, but I just ended up not doing that. And if you're wondering what that hideous thing on my finger is, I was putting away I had taken all of the liquor in my house to someone else's house for like a little get together for my birthday, and I was putting it away yesterday after we had brought it back, and the box it was in like broke and shattered everywhere, and I was cleaning up the glass and I cut my finger open, and the only Band-Aids I have in the house that I don't have an allergic reaction to are these hideous, ugly rainbow pineapples. I don't even know why I bought them. I'm sure I thought it was hilarious. So here I am trying to figure out how I want to place the Post-its. I really didn't know what I wanted to do. I was hoping that it would come to me as I went. It did kind of. It kind of did. But yeah, I was really, really, really hoping that everything would just magically appear in my brain once I picked up a pen, and it took me much longer than that, but that's okay. So I knew I wanted to use something like more fine line. I wanted it to look sketchy. I didn't want it to look like a finished piece. And also, if I'm using a permanent thing like a pen or a marker, I have to be more intentional with the marks that I put down on the paper, and my goal really is to be more intentional and not worry about each and every mark, like not sit there and fuss over it. My goal is to just put something down confidently. So I feel like I did a pretty good job with this spread of doing that. But yeah, so I figured I would try and go with the theme of the little Post-its at first, and so I was just kind of doodling. You really should warm up, but my sketchbook is kind of a place for me to experiment, so I was like, I don't need to warm up. I never remember to do that. So I'm just drawing some leaves and like some flower petals, and I knew that I wanted to put something like underneath there because I didn't tape that one down all the way because I only did alcohol ink markers on like one part of the other page. I was experimenting with some mixed media. Some of it went good, some of it didn't. You'll see it when I do the sketchbook tour for this book, which I'm halfway through, so that should come out relatively soon, depending on how often I'm drawing. It really just depends. I am trying to put out a video consistently every 2 weeks, or every other week rather, so it shouldn't be that much longer, truthfully. But yeah, I wanted to draw a little guy, and then I wanted the little guy to be a gnome, so here in a second I draw a little hat on him. I feel like gnomes are very fall forward, and it is fall. It's very cold in the morning and at night, and then in the middle of the day it's like 80 degrees, and honestly I wish it would just be moderately cold all the time, but I guess that's what the 2 weeks right before winter is for, right? So, and then I was like, that's not enough. It's not enough stuff. So I started drawing a rabbit because I've been doing little studies, animal studies, when I go to Dunkin' Donuts once a week, and I sit at the little table on my walk. So I've drawn quite a few rabbits at this point, so I was like, let me draw this little rabbit. I think he turns out cute. He looks a little wonky, but, you know, who doesn't, right? And plus, once again, I had not warmed up, and I was not using a reference. I didn't want to use a reference for any of this. I just wanted to have fun and record it a little bit. gosh, I spent so much time like moving around. I dug out my gold pen because I remembered I had that, and I was like, let me draw a really big snake. Let me just, actually, I think at first I was going to draw vines, and then I drew the line, and I was like, what if it was a big snake? So then I do that. Here we go. Really big snake. I'm going to take my sweet, sweet time. One of my goals with these videos, these like sketch with me videos, is that I don't want to speed all of them up. I am going to like cut out the parts that are like unnecessary, like me sorting through my pens for 3 minutes, hoping that if I find the right color, I will suddenly have inspiration. But I don't want, sorry if you heard that. I live on the main road and there are always freight trucks. Anyways, I wanted to be realistic. I wanted everyone, like, I wanted to know how long these things actually take me, because I sit down to sketch and then I kind of just like forget what time is. So to me it feels very fast, and then I'm recording and then like I'm like, wow, that took me a lot longer than I thought it did. I was at the desk for so long, which is a good thing. It's good to have hobbies that you just kind of zone out for. And then I decided that I didn't like the color selection of the pens, or the like gel pens, and I ripped out those Posca pens. I kind of regret buying them, but not because of like the brand or anything. I bought like the finest nib that I could, and I wish that they sold like brush pens, because they're fine, but the nib like sometimes flings little paint splatters everywhere, and it's impossible to fill in larger areas, or even like, so like, see how long it took me to fill in that like one spot. It takes so long, and then it still like doesn't look that good. But I didn't want like the really thick ones, because I bought these because I had some with the bullet nib, the thicker one, and it would just like rip up my paper. So I wanted a thinner nib, but then now it flings paint everywhere, and then they dry up, like the nib dries up so fast, and I have to like press it down a lot. Like, I edited out like 6 clips of me just like shaking these markers. But yeah, I was like, snakes have spots, I think, and so here I am drawing the spots, having a good time about it. Yeah, that took me a kind of long time, because it was a big snake. Like, I spent so much time filling in these dots, and you know what, that's okay, because art takes time. That's just how it is. Yeah, I feel like a lot of people, they just kind of expect things to come fast, because we're in this like age of technology where everything is at your fingertips all the time. But some things are slow, you know. Art is slow, pottery is slow, writing, like all of the good things in life take time, and you know, that's the hill that I'm gonna die on today. So yeah, I really love making art. It's truly like, I think my greatest love in life is first my cat, and then my art. You know, it's the only thing that really that like has been with me forever. So not to get like too like sappy and crazy. This is my favorite part of the whole page. I don't know if you can tell yet, but I'm drawing a little cauldron. I was thinking, after I do the snake, I was like, I need to do fall stuff. Like, I don't want to do a snake themed page. I want it to be fall themed, like, you know, summer moving into fall. And, you know, what is more fall and like Halloween than a cauldron? You know, all of the grocery stores and like convenience stores near me are already selling Halloween decorations. So, you know, it's just time for fall, and a cauldron is as fall as it gets. You know, brewing potions. I did kind of struggle with this, because once again, the markers are really dry, and you have to shake them every single time you use them, and I forget, because I'm used to using markers that you don't have to do that with. And I don't really like paint markers as much as I thought I would, but I still use them. Like, they're still good for stuff. I tried just shading it like with the one pen, but I ended up not liking it. So what I ended up doing instead was I colored the whole thing in except for like the highlight with the gray marker, and then I used the silver marker to like mark in the highlight, and then I went in with black again to like make it even more shadow. Like I really wanted it to look round. And then I bought some friction highlighters, and I was really excited about them. But you can't really layer them like you can regular highlighters to get like darker values. So that was a bummer, but I used that to do the smoke, and then I used like the regular pink Posca marker to do like the outline of the smoke to make it look more billowy. Yeah, I'm gonna let you watch that, and I'm gonna put a little bit of music in here because I've been talking for a long time. voiceover. Um, with this space, it was really big, and I was like, oh my god, what am I gonna do? And then I decided, well, I did a cauldron, so let's do the fire now. Um, if you don't know this about me, I'm from the Midwest, and bonfires are like a really big part of the fall. Like, I went to school-sponsored bonfires in high school, and so, I don't know, it seemed fitting too for fall. Like, people go camping, all that good stuff. Um, they keep you warm, they heat up the cauldron, they create the bubbles. I, I was like, how do I make this look like a log? And then I was like, oh, logs have like textures, so here I go, drawing the little textures. And I really just, I like how everything except for the hay bale at the end, it kind of, it's okay, it's fine, but it's kind of boring, honestly. And it doesn't look that good. I don't think it really looks like a hay bale. I think when you see it, you're gonna be like, what is that? You know what it is, but you're gonna be like, that doesn't look like a hay bale at all. But you have to understand, I'm working with limited colors here, okay? It's not like when you're painting and you have, like, just you can mix any color at your whim. I'm working with, like, 20 markers, and, like, 6 of them are like, duplicates because they're from 2 different sets. So, here I am, coloring in the fire. I was like, fire is orange. I thought about doing red, and then I thought, that's too dark. Everything on this page is, like, pretty light. So, I went with orange, and then in a minute, after I am satisfied with, sorry, again, about the giant truck noises, in a minute, I decide, that's still too dark, and then I add yellow around the edges, because I'm like, oh, yeah, fire. Fire gets lighter around the edge, so that's, wow, the traffic today is just, like, really, really loud. So incredibly loud. I might redo this voiceover. This is a mess, but, first drafts are first drafts, am I right? So yeah, yellow around the fire, and then I was like, I need to draw the little bits that stick up around the fire, like the embers that shoot off. So I draw a few of those in just a sec. And then here it is. The space looked really empty, and I was still trying to stay with, like, the theme of fall and just, like, the country, I guess. I don't know. And I thought, what do you see a lot of in the fall? Hay bales rolled up in the field. So I could draw it small. I don't think it looks like a hay bale. Really? I don't even know if I remember what a hay bale looks like. But I was determined to draw with no references. I was like, only from memory. And I feel like most of those things turned out pretty good, but they can't all be winners. So, I don't know what I'm going to do on the other page to, like, match the energy for this. I have no clue. But enjoy me attempting to draw this hay bale. Here's the finished page. That's really all I've got for you today, so thanks for watching. Like and subscribe.